So I'm carefully watching for the update, but next week, I promise you, I think at the pretty much the whole of next week, unless something very specific happens, I will be every video next week, starting from the next weekday, will be a pre-recorded video because I'm taking care of the rest of my personal situation, and that's all you really need to know. Actually, we need to randomize this. So Yogadag Knight Errant. And that's going to be what we have for today. A lot of Doom, but yeah, just to let you know, just so that you know, next week, during the weekday, starting from at least 1 week from the first weekday or Monday, my time, but obviously just approximate for your own conditions. It'll be pre-recorded videos because I'm just wrapping up the rest of what I have. Now, it might be a little bit longer, but I'll usually let you know at that point. So, as we get into Yogadag Knight Errant, I'll probably mention it in another video, in one more video after today, but again, just letting you know. So, Charisma, Knowledge, and if you skip the timestamps, I talked about it in the very intro of this video. Second Mystery, Strength, Light, and maybe every single stat check in Dexterity. But we have Strength, and we start with the Lucky Bat. Now, the problem here, though, isn't the weapon. It's going to be Doom, if I were to predict anything. Which is a good thing, that we have a weapon that we can use. We don't need to, and we also now have Mind Drain. But more importantly, having a weapon that we can use at all is the first and foremost important part of any Doom-intensive run. Let me repeat that. For runs that look like their Doom is going to increase by a lot, starting with a weapon is really helpful. If you can RNG your way into another weapon, as we get Recluse, Arms, Coma, Taxi, and Piano, you can go for it, but obviously the risk is that if you don't get a weapon due to RNG, whether you're going for the Scissors, and I think there's one other thing, yeah, you just gotta do your best. So I think we might actually do Piano into Recluse. I forgot if this Piano does all damage or not. If it does, we're in for a bit of trouble. And I don't remember the ending, how to get certain endings in pretty much a lot of custom mysteries, but we'll work with it. That's why I'm allowing myself more Doom to work with, because if we get an extra 18% Doom on average, then yeah, if you're controlled. If you don't know anything about World of Horror, it's highly likely you get every single Knight Errant penalty. I always forget if it's 6 or 7%, because I'm always confusing it with Azal Shenanigans. Azal Shenanigans? Azal Shenanigans. Trying to remember if I'm remembering things correctly. Also, we should have police stationed this downtown, but off we go. We'll wait until we lose funds somewhere before we sell the library notes. We are working with a... I was thinking about something in real life. Okay, yeah, no, I'll withhold on talking about anything like that. But, yeah, just focusing on the game. So, Piano here is what I'm trying to say, at least, is that Piano here, I don't know if I am going to be getting the Knight Errant penalty. The all damage is kind of expected, but it is going to be painful because I plan to enter Recluse. Now, we do have Mind Drain, but I would really like not to use it if possible. I think I have to, though. Oh, yeah, we missed both normal attacks. It's 45%, but... it's not great. We can do prep attack. I was just hoping that I hit those regular attacks. That way I could just avoid having to use Mind Drain there. So, off we go. We didn't get the Knight Errant penalty, by the way, so that is ending A. I don't remember if letting the Piano eat the teacher is a non-ending A, but I guess I'll figure out as I play more Piano. We have a few more episodes left before we do some mystery rotations. However, Piano and... Fetish are definitely going to stay a little while longer, at least. I think Piano is part of... is it? I'm going crazy. Anywho. Yeah, off we go. But yeah, here in Recluse, we're definitely going to think about Mind Draining. I was going to say definitely going to Mind Drain. If that's not going to be guaranteed to happen. So, let's find out what happens. So, we call the police. We take the Doom there because I don't mind taking it. I would rather that than lose anything else. Because as much as Doom as we're losing, and Yogadag can't track you in mysteries like Festival and Recluse here, still, Knight Errant can add a hefty amount of Doom to your run. Keep in mind, because I'm autopiloting here, might as well talk about something else. Keep in mind that on easier difficulties, you do get a good... it's not a good chunk of Doom, but it's a noticeable chunk of Doom. And so that, in itself, is important for mitigating the Doom increase from Knight Errant. It's not very often that you'll cleanly go through Knight Errant without triggering its penalties. So therefore, any kind of Doom decrease that you have, whether it's difficulty, whether it's through a character, whether it's through the mysteries that you have, is going to be helpful. So even if you don't get any A with Akamanto, you're still going plus on Doom in terms of Doom decreasing. If you get Recluse or Scissors, usually your Doom increase is not going to be very high, so on and so forth. Things of this nature, effects like this or on your run are going to be very, very helpful. So, we do have arms. We might run into the boss there, but we have Mind Drain and we have Taxi. Mind Drain being a kind of crutch to help us along in case we run into a lot of hard enemies, like the boss of arms, but also Taxi being third is kind of important because if we do the whole shebang here, we are going to run into some issues. Now, I should actually just pop the Inspiring Novel here just to be safe. Funny enough, I would think about using it on arms. The thing is, in Taxi, you're visiting a lot of locations, so things like this might happen where you're fighting enemies back to back to back. For those who don't know, and just to remind everyone in case anyone forgot, you can, when you fight an encounter in a location, so now that I fought an encounter in the apartments, I can't fight another one for 2 encounters unless I run into a general encounter, like in Ath with the Glitch Magician. But in Taxi, you are bouncing in between locations, so while you might be on cooldown in the apartments, if you visit downtown, you might immediately run into the Obsessed Man. And then if you visit the forest, you might run into the Dream Eater. Things like this happen. Also, again, I know that I'm fighting enemies like this, so at least, if nothing else, the brute force or the simple method is that if you run into at least 3 encounters during your mystery, popping the Inspiring Novel will usually grant you will usually be in your favor, because it's not often that without the Inspiring Novel, you can just 1 or 2 turn enemies anyway. And so what you're really looking for is that will the damage increase for the Inspiring Novel allow you to save a turn in at least 2 or 3 encounters. So, and now that we've used the Inspiring Novel, we might as well go through this. So we're just going to mash through and see what happens with our life. We do get to level up. I should do that immediately, but still, though, the issue is, well, first of all, not dying to reason. But second of all is going through this and making sure that we survive. So 34 HP, -1 all. That's kind of what we're looking for here. And we could actually, you know, because our accuracy is so high, we can actually stuff a bit more in this sequence. So we get to 2-turn this, pretty much. Unless we get really unlucky with the 290% attacks we have, but that shouldn't happen. In fact, I would need to miss, I think, at least 2 of those, which is not very likely to happen anyway, so off we go. That's ending A, by the way, so we also avoid the Knight Errant penalty, but even if I had got it, 44% Doom moving into our 4th mystery is not so bad. Period. That's all I have to say at the moment. Now, keep in mind, I think at the end of Arms here, we're going to pop the Inspiring Novel. Just to be sure. And we're going to take another risk here. We just need to hit 3 of these attacks. And off we go. Things like that encounter, just number-wise, getting 11 experience for that is very, very good. If we were less prepared for combat, it's okay. But anything worse than that, I mean, you're probably already doing bad on your run anyway. An encounter that has about 16 to 20 HP, if you cannot 2-turn it, it's not great for anything harder, any enemy harder than that. So we'll listen to lose reason. Again, in Arms, the boss here, if you have it, is a stamina encounter, which is why I don't mind losing as much reason. In fact, even a Doom encounter, I don't really mind as much, as long as we 2-turn it. If you 3-turn it, it's a bit of Doom you lose as we proceed to miss 2 attacks there. I mean, RNG is what it is. Now I'm just curious. Oh my goodness, this is like 75%, right? It's 50-50. But again, we can take the Doom hit. I was being a bit, not flimsy, I was being a bit whimsical there. I should not have done that. But now that we're on encounter lockout, we might as well wait. And yeah, now we use the cigarettes. Now, we probably definitely need to use Mind Drain, but we're on Timeline A, so it's fine. Which also prevents us from losing Doom. If you're on Timeline B, you're guaranteed to not only fight a boss, but take the Knight Errant penalty, which is an interesting, twist on how Arms contributes to the difficulty of your run. So it's pretty much a coin flip. If you have Timeline A Arms on Knight Errant, everything's great. If you have Timeline B arms on Knight Errant, you suddenly just take a whole bunch of damage from the boss and from Knight Errant. So, yeah. But now that essentially we've popped these cigarettes for a bit longer than expected, but it's fine for the moment. Now, what I'm a bit worried about is my stamina, but hopefully we're okay. We're not, so we're going to enter this... we're going to grab these painkillers preemptively. We do want to keep at 3 stamina in case we can do Desperate Struggle, but hey. And stats, but at this point, I'm just actually going to tree for funds. We do have the stuffed toy in case we need to get rid of something. Fearful's not going to be so bad. Suicidal might be, but I should just remove one of those 2. I really should remove one of those 2. So I didn't mean to enter the police station. That was a waste of doom. But okay, yeah, the stuffed toy. Did I say something different? It's called a stuffed toy. So Fearful. I don't know if we'll run into too much of these, but we have both proc. We have both procs. So I want to lose less reason. So let's get rid of the paranoia. We have reason to spare, especially with mind drain. So I don't mind losing extra reason. That's my rationale. On top of Fearful, of course, but yeah, here. So we're definitely going to mind drain. In coma, you're going to be losing extra thingamajiggies anyway. I was just preparing a mind drain to option select. Although I was option selecting blind there, so there's a chance I just missed a whole bunch of attacks, and then I use mind drain and get slapped anyway. That's the end-all be-all of it. But as we enter this lighthouse, we should survive no matter what. We don't have Takshisan either, so we can literally just smash through this lighthouse and we should be fine. In fact, we have every single stamina reason damage, right? So, yeah, 5 reason. And then, why does... Okay, second mystery check. I was like, there's no way, because if you have if you have the full 9 stamina, 5 reason loss, you're gonna still get at least 1 non-stat light source check. And in this case, it's a second mystery check. But we have enough to survive. We have 11 strength, so I don't have to worry about a thing anyway. Losing 9 stamina. We're only going to lose upwards of 6 stamina. But as we get nicotine withdrawal, it doesn't matter. We don't have any other encounters. So this was a very focused gameplay video. Not the most focused I could be, but I had to kind of concentrate just to make sure no bad things happen. But yeah, without further ado, without taking too much more of your time, if you have anything to say, if you want to support me, you know what to do. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!